Hello, everyone, and welcome to Football United TV. I'm Maisie.
And I'm Matt, and this is La Ligue des Champions. And here's the intro.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Football United TV. I've got Matt again. How are you, Matt?
Doing good, Maisie. How are you doing?
Very, very well, thank you. It's been a while since we've done the show, but Champions League's back on, our favourite, of course.
It's been too long, Maisie, isn't it? You know what I mean? They need to make these games a bit more faster, don't they? There's too many breaks in the Champions League, isn't there? They need to just make it all in one. Because we just miss you. We miss everybody coming on the show and chatting as well. And Maisie, it's been an incredible night, hasn't it, tonight? And the last couple of weeks.
Yes, exactly. It has been extremely well, hasn't it? But I'm glad the Champions League is back on. It's back again in a couple of weeks' time too, so we'll be reunited again in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah. Nice.
Shall we get started with the first game?
Yeah, do you know what? Let's crack on. What are you making of it then, Maisie? What is the first game? What we got to talk about?
The first game, Sporting versus Manchester City. Sporting 0, Manchester City 5. Very good game from Manchester City. They was able to finish the game off pretty much in the first half.
Yeah.
Goals of Sterling in the second half, Bernardo Silva, Phil Foden. I'm sure Mahrez scored if I'm not mistaken. So, and Bernardo Silva was actually near enough on a hat trick, and he had a disallowed goal, so that could have been 6.
Yeah.
But I think overall Manchester City played very, very well, and it's going to be extremely unlikely if they don't get into the next round of football.
Would you say it'd probably be the best comeback ever if Sporting get 6-0 against Man City? I mean, I can't see that happening. I think Man City are clear on this one, Maisie, don't you think? And they were tremendous going to Lisbon, because I even know that they lost their game in the Portuguese league just before playing City. So that might have been a stumbling block for them. And I know a lot of people that know the Portuguese league were sort of saying, look, Sporting Lisbon are not pushovers. It will be a tough game. But clearly, Man City showed that they are the dominant force in Europe at the moment. 5-0, crazy.
It is absolutely crazy. And I tell you what, if Sporting do get 6 goals against Manchester City away, then people say Liverpool versus Barca is the best comeback. That will be definitely the best comeback. I think they've come to the wrong side of Manchester, though. I wanted us to get Sporting a Bruno Fernandes reunion, Cristiano Ronaldo reunion. We're not getting either, though, this year.
Well, you never know. They might win 6-0, Maisie.
I suppose you can never say never, but Manchester City, do you think they're going to go through?
Yeah, it's comfortable. It's comfortable for them. 5-0 going away. And look, I know there's no away goals. If this was away goals, it would be even worse for Sporting. So does it give them a better chance? Probably, but I doubt they're going to be able to take advantage of that. So Man City comfortably through, Maisie, to the quarterfinals.
Yes, definitely. Are you ready to discuss the next game?
Absolutely. What we got?
PSG 1, Real Madrid 0. I think this was a mixture of what people was going to look at, because people were saying Real Madrid to win the game. Some people said PSG. People was discussing about Mbappe playing against the team he wanted to go to. people was also discussing other things as well, such as Di Maria playing against his former club. So there was a lot of news going around this game in particular, and it took the limelight for me off all the other games during that week. But PSG, they got a last-minute goal from Bayern Mbappe. I think Real Madrid, for me, though, played extremely poor. I don't think they had a single shot on target for the whole game, knowing that they had Benzema in that team. You look at things like that and think, how didn't you manage to at least get one goal? Messi missed a penalty. Courtois saved the penalty. And what was pretty funny was the fact that Messi missed a penalty. Not long after, Ronaldo scored for Man United.
Perfect, right? Perfect.
Absolutely perfect. But what did you think of the game, Matt?
Do you know what, as well? I think, like you said, the old Madrid players going back, and you've got to include Ramos in that equation as well. Going back to, beating Madrid 1-0. And I think, what you said, like the fact that Madrid were very bad at this game. And the reason why, I think, is because they didn't have the away goal to really prove themselves to get something back in it. I really felt that just took everything out of the game. Whereas if it was on away goals, Madrid might have actually gone, right, we need to really push and try and get something out of this. Then we can take the result back to the Bernabeu and we can sit comfortably. But, PSG winning 1-0, all PSG have got to do in the second leg now is just keep that result, maybe get a goal if they can, and just hope that Real Madrid don't win, because literally the winner wins, pretty much.
Exactly, and it's still quite narrow at the moment as well, isn't it? Real Madrid will be at home now for this next game. Real Madrid are actually doing quite well at the moment in La Liga. Top of the league at the moment, and I think it's Seville in second, and Real Betis then in third. So they're doing quite well at the moment, Real Madrid. They've had a change of manager. They've had Ancelotti, and they're having to use a lot more younger players because of the finances at Real Madrid as well, seeing a lot more of junior too. So I think overall Real Madrid isn't doing too bad. And if you look at Real Madrid without the Champions League, but if they win La Liga, is it really the end of the world if Real Madrid do go out?
You know what, Maisie? It's not really. You see Barcelona going into the Europa League anyway, and you kind of would like to expect to see Barcelona as the name in the group stage. Sorry, not the group stages, the knockout stages. But with Madrid, I don't think they're going to go out, Maisie. I think actually PSG are going to get knocked out like they did with Man United. Remember that?
Oh yeah, against in the next round, you probably think.
Yes. So I'm saying it's going to be harsh for Messi, clearly, but I think Madrid taking this back to the Bernabeu with the support that they'll have, and hopefully they'll have a good bench. They're definitely doing very well in La Liga at the moment, as you said. PSG are not doing so great in their league. Obviously, they lost, I think, to Nantes, didn't they, the other day? 3-1.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, so it's
Neymar with that penalty. That was the worst penalty I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was terrible, awful. But then, I mean, you still buy him, wouldn't you? You would. I mean, like everyone. Have you seen Ronaldo miss penalties before? Like, he's not a very good penalty taker, Ronaldo, either. So you don't really judge them on that too much. But I think PSG probably might go out of this. Actually, I think Madrid going home, Maisie, good chance. Good chance.
Yeah, and when you look at this as well, in terms of PSG, they have put so much investment into that team. Just as people say, this PSG team, you would spend billions probably on FIFA. They've got Donnarumma, Ramos, they've got Messi, they have got Neymar, Di Maria. You've got such a FIFA team, and yes, the wage bill will be massive, but they managed to get so many players on a free, and it's just like they don't know how to handle this. And I think PSG being out the Champions League is a lot more of a failure than Real Madrid being out the Champions League.
Yeah, It is, isn't it? Because PSG spent so much money, they've held back to try and keep Mbappe there to play with the likes of Messi and Neymar and win a Champions League. And of course, with Pochettino as well, there's a lot of trouble going on there, whether he's going to leave before the end of the season. Probably most likely because he's not really looked upon from the directors of PSG as the long-term manager. He doesn't really have the say of the team as well, so I feel like he might leave before the end of the season. Even if if they go out of this Champions League, I think he might be gone. I think people would agree with me. Would you agree with me on that? If he doesn't get into the next round, he's gone. He doesn't win last season's league, and where is he now? He's gone out of the Champions League. The one thing they really want to lift Maisie.
Yeah, you've seen managers who's done a better job at PSG, such as Tuchel, and managed to get sacked. And you've got the likes of Poch, who has bottled 4 out of his 6 finals as a manager, who has lost the league. I'd say such an easy league, because that league, you don't really see many other teams that minus PSG who wins at. PSG is is the most dominant team in the French league, and knowing that they have still got the even back then, before they had Ramos, Messi, Donnarumma, they still had Neymar, they still had Mbappe, they still had many different players, and even under Tuchel, they had Thiago Silva. And you think, is the likes of not having Thiago Silva been a big miss for Chelsea? I mean, for PSG?
Well, you could put that in, but then, like, if you bring Ramos in, who you would
He hasn't even played Ramos.
No, but so it is a loss then, isn't it? I think that PSG probably thought that Thiago Silva was probably on his way out. He's old, and he's gone and won a Champions League and a World Club Cup with the team he went on to play with after that. Probably is a horror show for them. But PSG, I don't know, they've got to build, I think, a team that's not just of Galacticos, because it doesn't always work. We've seen that with Madrid way back when they had Zidane, Roberto Carlos, David Beckham, maybe even Figo, maybe Raul. It just doesn't always work. It doesn't always work. You have to build a team that wants to play for the badge and not just for the money. And I feel people at PSG, including Messi, are only about cash. They couldn't stay. He couldn't stay at Barcelona. PSG was the only option. Right?
Exactly. I completely agree with that 100%. Before we go on to the next 2 games of last week, should we go through the comments, Matt?
Absolutely. Let's smash it out. Big up to you all.
Yes, let's do this. Hello there to TalkMU. Thank you for tuning in. Hello there to Niall. Yes, it has been ages. We're back again. Missed this Champions League show. Makes these faster. I've missed you, Maisie and Matt. Thank you, Niall.
Thank you, Niall.
For me, Man City are through. Sporting won't score 6 goals. No chance that will happen. Would take a miracle for that to happen. Sorry, guys, watching on my phone. Laptop is slow. My Wi-Fi has officially done a nipping. Don't worry about it. This game isn't over. I still think PSG will do it for me, as they are a fever team on paper. Was that a penalty from Neymar, a training session, or let that pass it back to the goalkeeper? Terrible. Hello there to Luca. Thank you for tuning in. We're well, thank you. I hope you're well as well. Niall, back on the laptop, had to reset it all again. I'm watching what I've been missed. I'm fine, thank you, Luca. I hope you're well too. Don't worry, I'm absolutely fine, Luca. Who's Arsenal playing in Europe? Good question. Very good question. Are you ready for the next game of last week?
Absolutely.
This was my standout game from last week. Salzburg won, Bayern Munich 1. So Adamu came on as a substitute. There was an injury
Yeah.
there in Salzburg. He scored in 11 minutes coming on, and I thought that was brilliant. Very well defended from Salzburg for the entire game. Then Kingsley Coman scored the last minute of the game, which I was honestly heartbroken for Bayern Munich. For Salzburg, absolutely heartbreaking. But this kind of game shows that you can't really write off any team.
Well, didn't we say this in the last stream that we did? We kind of
Yes.
saw RB Salzburg as like they're not going to get any result from this at all, not even a draw. They'll probably lose both games. But I said, you can't. I think we both agree you can't write off teams so suddenly. You see how Ajax have performed recently in their way of getting through the group stages with 100% performance. So, look, I think RB Salzburg can go back to Bayern. I think they can get something from this. I think this gives them everything. Bayern, if it was on away goals, again, I have to say this. If it was away goals, Bayern would be on the up. But now it's literally still completely 50-50 between. And if RB Salzburg can do something, I think it would be an amazing achievement to see them in the quarterfinals against Man United.
Especially knowing that they've knocked out one of the best teams in Europe, it really does speak levels of Salzburg, to be fairly honest. And knowing that they also had Bayern Munich, the likes of Lewandowski in that starting 11 lineup and couldn't do anything, pretty alarming from a Bayern Munich point of view, to be fairly honest. And looking at it, they haven't really been doing too well in the Bundesliga recently, neither.
They haven't. I think that's due to money as well, wasn't it? Right? Surely. Dortmund are having troubles as well. They look like they're going to get rid of Haaland, so it's one of those things. This is why I think if it's the best opportunity right now for RB Salzburg to go there and get something from it. If you really want to dominate against Bayern, this is the time. There's literally no problem with it at all. I think they could definitely get a result from this, and I hope so. What do you reckon? I reckon. Prediction. I'm going to say.
Well, I did predict for Barcelona to get knocked into the Europa League, and I was right. So I'm just still doing crap there. They're actually on 1-1 on the last game. So
they're going to be out Conference League.
You know what? I have a strange feeling that Salzburg's going to do something. So I think Salzburg might win 1-0 next game.
You think so? That's it. Next game. All right.
Yeah.
All right. Fair enough. Okay.
What about you?
Yeah, I think they're going to win. I think Salzburg will win. I think there's something there for them. I think they'll be going out for it. I see something like just a simple 1-0 win to RB Salzburg.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to underestimate them at all.
No, you can never underestimate them. But let's go on to the next game.
Yes, please. Yes.
Inter Milan 0, Liverpool 2. And this game, I felt so sorry for Inter Milan because before that goal got scored, I think it was by Jota. Inter Milan played very well. They was very well defended and they didn't have many shots on target, but Martinez, that brilliant striker.
He's brilliant, isn't he?
Yeah, he's brilliant. Take notes, Glazers. Even though he had like that shot, what should have gone in, I think Inter Milan played brilliantly, and it was just a shame because once that Jota goal went in, I think they crumbled, and then Salah scored. But I can't see, especially it's at Anfield now, the next game, I can't see Inter Milan going through, to be honest now. But what do you think, Matt?
It was a very good game from Liverpool, very dominant as well, might I add. And I think you said Jota was a part of that. Yeah, he's been incredible for Liverpool.
Yes.
I'm a little bit jealous, Maisie, to be honest.
I do like Jota. He's one of them players that I shouldn't really say, but I have a little bit of a soft spot for Jota. I don't know why, but I just do.
Just a great player, and he's a great player. And Inter Milan, I mean, Inter Milan should be doing a lot better here as well. at home as well. I think that they didn't give anything towards the game. Do you know what I mean? Martinez, like you said, has been doing okay without Lukaku's presence recently. You know, he's been the man to step forward, and he didn't. But maybe he can at Anfield. We have seen it before. We've seen people like Rios do very well at Liverpool, at Anfield. You know, coming from abroad and smashing the defense of Liverpool. But maybe this is difficult because I really want to see Inter Milan go through, but I just can't see it, especially with their 6-0 battering of Leeds today. They're on.
To be
top
fair
of
though,
the
we put 4 past Liverpool
when
on the weekend.
Leeds, you mean?
Yeah, we put 4 past Leeds. Leeds is an easy team to score.
Yeah, no, they put 5 against us though, didn't they? It was horrible. But yeah, but 6-0 though, that's crazy. Liverpool just on a high, I think, at the moment, and the fact that they've like sharpened that edge between the Premier League title on Man City now, it gives them a boost in mentality, and I just think that Liverpool are probably going to get through on this, Maisie.
Yeah, I agree, especially with them being at home, and a matter of fact, Liverpool is remaining to still be unbeaten in 2022 at home. They haven't lost a single game at home yet.
They haven't, have they? Sorry, I was looking at Niall's comment down there that said, Matt, did you forget Man United played Leeds Sunday? I didn't forget that.
I think you did. I think you did.
No, I didn't forget it, but what I was trying to say was Leeds getting battered 6-0 gives Liverpool the boost. Our game was a bit more of a struggle, wasn't it? 4-2.
Yeah, it definitely was.
Yeah, it wasn't like was you comfortable the whole game? Like you were like, this is an easy win?
I must be honest though, I did watch it back, so I knew what the score was because I was actually at Norwich on Sunday. But I already knew how the game went in the end. But I was getting the notifications on my phone. I was like, this is terrible. Have we conceded in 24 seconds?
Exactly. Yeah. So it wasn't quite as comfortable as the Liverpool one today. That's what I'm saying. Where Liverpool have got this, like, this momentum right now to possibly win whatever they're in now. They've got the Carabao Cup next weekend, have they?
They have got the Carabao Cup final on Sunday. They've got the FA Cup next week against Norwich.
They're still in a lot of things, and they've got a lot of momentum. So I think be weary of Liverpool. Unfortunately, Maisie, I have to say.
And they're 3 points behind Man City in the league. And
Exactly.
because, of course, the Premier League is this weekend, they'll have a game in hand on Man City because of the Carabao Cup final.
Yeah.
But let's go through Niall's comments. That's 50-50 for me. Salzburg are a possible dark horse. Don't write them off, but my heart says Bayern will edge it for me 1-0. I predicted 2-1 Inter, but credit to Liverpool. I think Liverpool will win the return leg and get them into the last 8. Yeah, that's exactly what we was thinking as well, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we're on to this week's games now. Last week's all done and dusted. So let's go on to the first game. Chelsea 2, LILLE 0. So coming into the game, Chelsea has only lost 1 or 2 games against a French team in the Champions League out of 16. So that was good stats for them. Lille hasn't won against an English team before. So that was bad. So coming into this game, I was expecting comfortable win by Chelsea. It stayed comfortable. But Lukaku, one of the least touches on the pitch. But I think Kai Havertz was representing Lukaku. He only had 7 touches, Lukaku, and Havertz scored on the 7th minute.
Yeah, you know what? It was a good performance from Chelsea. I think he had to, I think, drop Lukaku after everything that's gone on in the media and stuff. Probably wasn't right after the what was it called, the old 7 touches in that game the other day.
Yeah,
played the whole game. It's not very good. But at the same time, if you've got to drop him and you win 2-0, then that just shows your strength. That you've got. He is a decent player. He's a decent striker. I don't know why people still knock him. He can definitely bag goals. He did just score 2 goals in the World Cup.
The thing is with Lukaku, for me, he is a good striker, but there's one, strikers never seem to do well at Chelsea. 2, I think Lukaku does better when he's got a striker alongside him, like it worked at Inter Milan. So you look at things like that because he is a goal scorer and he needs someone to provide that for him, another striker alongside him to provide that for him. And it's just like he can't really play that lone striker. And Tuchel, he's one of them managers. He will stick by what he does. He has kept this formation since he started in. It started at Chelsea, and it's worked for Chelsea. So look, let's be honest. Tuchel isn't going to change a formation around specifically for one player. And I just think maybe at this point, Lukaku might not even be suited to the Premier League. Yes, he had one bad. His first spell at Chelsea was bad. He done good at Everton, but it's Everton. Manchester United, it came crashing down. He was good at the beginning, and then he just like that. And Chelsea again, it's not done too good whatsoever. And him in his interview saying, "I would have stayed at Inter Milan if they give me more money," kind of thing. It's a bit disgusting, really.
Do you know? I think it was on Sir Alex Ferguson's last day at Man United. We played. Who did we play now?
West Brom.
Yeah, who scored a hat-trick for West Brom? Do you remember?
Romelu.
It was, wasn't it? He's one of those players. He's been everywhere. And look, I think you're right, everything about you said about him as well. I don't think he's the type of player to be playing up top for Chelsea. They're not that sort of team that has a striker like him, to be fair. They are the kind of specifically Werner kind of team. So I don't know why that hasn't worked for Werner. But look, at the same time, they've still got a very strong squad. And Chelsea to win 2-0 against Lille, who won the league, like you said earlier, Maisie, in France. And they're not doing too great. I think they're maybe 11th or 12th in Ligue. So they're definitely not doing great at the moment. But I think it's going to be easy for Chelsea to go to Lille. I don't see any problems apart from maybe fans throwing bottles at players, maybe, because that's the only problem that France gives any opposition at the moment, unfortunately. Yeah, they got a lot of problems over there with the fan trouble, and I think Chelsea will be all right. They'll handle it.
A former player of ours as well actually did play for Lille, Angel Gomez. What did you make of Angel Gomez playing? I didn't really think too much of him, to be fairly honest, coming into the game. But Chelsea's always going to be difficult to play against under the same breath.
He has shown a lot of impression in France from people that I know that well, actually one of my mates who supports Lille has been on the channel. He says about him and says that he actually is a really good player for us. That's probably because he does play week in, week out. Whether he's going to be able to do that against Chelsea with the team around him, maybe not. Like, would you imagine Elanga with nobody around him being able to do the things that he's been doing recently? Probably not. Like, you do need a good team around you if you are a new player coming into the scene, and Gomez is as well, you know. I'd love to see him do good for Man United, to be fair, but it just wasn't going to happen, was it? And Chelsea are definitely through on this, Maisie.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. Let's go on to another game from yesterday. Real Madrid won. Villarreal won. Real Madrid played twice, according to me, but Villarreal won. Juventus won. This was the first ever meeting of Villarreal versus Juventus. So it's going to go really 50-50. Villarreal hasn't really got a good record against Italian leagues in the Champions League. And this was the first knockout game they've had since the 08-09 season. So big respect already there to Unai Emery for getting Villarreal the furthest they have got in the Champions League for over 10 years. You've got to respect him for that massively.
Yeah.
But Juventus scored literally in the first minute of the game. They managed to equalise Villarreal. But for me, this is still such an open game, in my opinion. Villarreal isn't doing so good in the league, neither is Juventus. So it's still very, very open. This is probably the most open game at the moment.
It is. And do you know what we were saying about that as well, Villarreal? They'll be probably comfortable with this result, to be fair. It's difficult to play against Juventus. I know people put off Juventus and say they've got nobody now. They got rid of Ronaldo last year. Ramsey's gone. What have they got? They have still got a good squad. Like, they are underestimated. Might not be doing too great in Serie A, but at the same time, they are on the rebuild, same as Barcelona if you look at them. So, look, I think Villarreal might have the upper hand on this, to be fair. You know? But I wouldn't underestimate Juventus at the moment, because I think they could pull something back at home in Turin, and I don't see why not. But at the same time, Villarreal probably got a better squad and squad depth at the moment. I probably would say that.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree. Juventus has got better players, but you still can't write off neither of them teams for me, because it's not about who has the better team. It's about how the team plays in the day. And Juventus is going to be at home, so they've obviously got that advantage, but it's not always about who plays well at home. Some teams are better to be played away. So I'm actually really excited for this game.
Yeah. Do you know what? It'd be good, actually. I might put this on another screen. In 2 weeks, isn't it?
Yeah, 2 weeks time. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll probably have a few of them on screen just to see what's going on. Do you know what? I'm going to say Villarreal though. This is going to be the one that I think does something differently.
Yeah, I agree. I think Villarreal has actually got it, and I think it's going to be a low-scoring game, but I think they've got it.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's go through a couple more of the comments, and then we'll continue with the last two games of the Champions League. Niall, Chelsea are very well organised and don't concede many goals. For me, Chelsea to progress in the last 8. For me, the reason why Chelsea don't really concede, look at the formation, what they do. They use a diamond formation. So they have Mende, for me, considered one of the best goalkeepers. So they've got 3 at the back. They've got the aggression of Rudiger, Thiago Silva, the Rolls Royce in the middle, and then they change around the right-hand side if that's going to be Aspilicueta, if that's going to be Sarr, if that's going to be Chalaba. I think that's how it's pronounced.
Yeah.
So there's numerous of different players who can play there, but them two are definitely a sort of the centre backs. Then you've got Reece James, who can play as the right wing back, brilliant. Best form he's been at already. Chilwell can play on the other side, but he's injured, so it could be Alonso. Sarr can play there as well. And then they tend to play 2 CDMs as well. They tend to play Kante and Jorginho, or they put Kovacic there. I know he's more of a box-to-box Kovacic, but he can be quite defensive. Sol, he could be defensive as well. So they can literally play about 8-9 defenders on the pitch, and then it's just about the front 3 going to be Mount Ziyech, Werner, Lukaku, Ziyech, that's just all rotates around them. But I think knowing that you've got quite a lot of defensive players on the pitch also really helps, as well as that diamond formation, because it's very, very narrow, very, very compact for anyone to try and get in. If you agree with that, Matt.
Absolutely. I completely agree. The fact that Chelsea have got good squad depth and they can rotate and put players in positions that you probably wouldn't normally expect is tremendous. I think that's the reason why they might do so well in the Champions League. Of course, they're well off on the Premier League, and it would be a very big comeback if they did scrape 10 points to try and get to where Liverpool and City are at the moment. But you can't take anything away from Chelsea. Like you say, Lukaku has been doing quite good recently. He did score them 2 goals in the World Club Cup final, which people do forget about. He is still a goal-scoring poacher. I think they can use him to his ability as well, and to their own strengths as well. Werner, you've got Havertz. They've got so many players, Kante. They've got Jorginho. They say they've got so many people that can do the role. If someone's out, somebody can step in. So I just think Chelsea. I think probably actually looking at it, out of many clubs in Europe at the moment, Chelsea, Liverpool, and City are probably the three people that I'd say should get close to the final.
I agree.
Over everybody else, right?
Hello there to Kasim from QNTV. Thank you for tuning in. Anthony has said, hi, Matt and Maisie. Hello to you, Anthony. According to sources, Conte might be leaving Tottenham after the Burnley game. That would be extremely interesting. And Conte was never really made for Chelsea for me. I think he only came there for the wage packet. But if he leaves, he leaves. And it's their fault for appointing wrong appointments.
You mean Spurs?
Yep, Spursy's fault. Spursy doing Spursy things.
He was never a Spursy manager, really, Maisie. To be fair, do you know what I mean? I just couldn't see that Daniel Levy was going to give him the money to be able to do anything. He didn't get it in the January transfer window, so I just think he was always going to leave. I think he wanted to go to Man United.
I don't think his kind of formation really suits Manchester United, but Harry Maguire there as a free at the back with for instance Phil Jones, and Bayern when players are injured. I don't think that would work.
I don't think so. You might as well have your hands tied behind your back.
And he's always plays at the five at the back. So, and we've seen five at the back does not suit Manchester United. Niall, for me, Juventus are through. Tort said, I said weeks ago, don't be surprised if Conte comes United. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he does come to United, but I just don't think his formation really suits United neither.
Yeah, I agree with you. Actually, I just think it would be a kind of what do you call it? What do you call it? A panic manager to come in. Do you know what I mean? We should be looking for someone right now. If we got an interim, we got to the end of the season, deal with it. You've made that decision. Suck it up. Try and get someone that you really know is going to be like the long-term process. And I just don't see Conte being that guy, but I think it might happen.
Speaking of Manchester United, we'll go on to that next game. Atletico Madrid won, Manchester United won. What did you think of the game, Matt?
Oh, mate, I tell you what, I was watching a bit of the Man United agenda as well, and shouts out to Mr. B and Talk MU. It was such a great game though, from what I saw. Hard to see João Felix score that goal, you know, and the way that the camera looked at it as well, and it hit the post on slow-mo and went in, and I was like, that's a terrific goal. Honestly, for a little lad like that, and I only say little lad because he's quite small and he's quite fragile. He looks like it, but he's a very good baller, and it was a very good goal as well. And you know, I applaud him for that because Atletico Madrid haven't been doing so good in La Liga. You know, I think they're probably around 5th, I think, at the moment. So, you know, tough times since they won the league last season, and they haven't been doing so great. But I think this is Man United's chance now. And how many times in the last how many years? It'd be the 3rd time since Alex Ferguson left that we get through to the quarterfinals. The last time was 2019, wasn't it, with PSG? So it'd be nice to see. It would be bloody nice to see. Well done to Elanga for getting that goal right at the end. We do need these things. Man United do play till the end. We all know this, and we love to see that from Man United because that is true Man United style. You don't give up right until the very last minute. And I even thought, you know, we all think in our hearts, we're like, in our minds, this is done. We've lost 1-0 here, and we've really got to win and get more out of this. But Man United never give up right until the very end, Maisie. The Man United gene was in the team.
I did a watch along myself of the game, and I must be honest, I was absolutely frustrated in the first half.
Oh yeah.
The first
I
half
didn't
with
want to be
Felix.
too down, Maisie. I didn't want to be
No.
too down, but you
I was
bring
gonna
it
end in a
down.
positive note. I promise. But Felix getting that goal, absolute brilliant goal. A lot of people are allocating blame, but for me, I couldn't allocate a blame onto a certain player. The reason for that is that, look at it from this point of view. Atletico Madrid have 11 players. Manchester United have 11 players. So each Manchester United player should be marking each Atletico Madrid player. But nobody was marking any of the Atletico Madrid players, gave us space to, after the corner. It was a poor clearance anyway. So once it got cleared, it allowed Atletico to pick up the ball, cross it in, and then Felix with that terrific header.
Yeah.
And I do think it was a fault of the entire team, not just the one individual. And then when you do look at as well, we did hold possession a lot of the game, and possession doesn't always matter when you're not doing anything about it. Because the first half, in particular, you were doing sideward passing, you were doing backward passing. It just wasn't going anywhere, and then Atletico tried to hit us on the counter. I do think it was a quite odd move not putting any right backs on, because I was thinking, are you going to play for it at the back? But Lindelof ended up playing as a right back. I hated him playing as a right back because he's more of a centre back. But I do think Lindelof does deserve his place at Manchester United under the same breath. He's done brilliantly. Coming second half, 3 substitutes, and then a substitute. So we made all our 5 subs. Alanga getting the goal, 80th minute. I must be honest, I was thinking, right, Champions League knockout. Is this game a little bit too big for Alanga? Because he's only just come into this Manchester United team under Ralph. He's only started making the starting 11 appearances. So I didn't want him to start, because I didn't want to have him to hold that big responsibility like what happened in the Middlesbrough game. I wanted him to not feel too like daunted over it
Yeah.
all, and he has shown coming on as a sub that he is capable of being in the Champions League. He's capable of being at Manchester United. He's a brilliant player, and I think Atletico Madrid, after that goal, truly crumbled. They was trying to dive at every opportunity they could. They was winning free kicks. Personally, for me, UEFA, FIFA, all these organisations need to work together to tackle down diving, because it's getting far too much, especially in the men's game. I watch a lot of the women's football. You never see diving in the women's game. So they need to.
That's because women should rule the world.
I like
That's
that.
why.
I like that thought.
Well, they should, and that's the reason why they don't dive, because they don't want to cheat people, other people. Women don't, but men seem to think that it's sort of a brawn status if they, get a cheat out of it every now and then, and I don't like it. And it's just, I don't know. I don't like to see people diving too much and stuff like that. And that's the Diego Simeone way, Maisie.
It is, and that was what I was worried about.
Yeah.
I was worried about coming into playing Simeone because they are such a defensive team. Yes, they crumbled, but I'm a little bit confident coming into the Old Trafford game. They've got the home fans behind them now. So we can be the 12th man for Manchester United to clench a victory in that second leg of the game.
You just remember what they did to Liverpool as well. Be careful.
Thank you.
We got to be careful. We can't just, like Liverpool loved their home support last time round, and look what they did. And everyone was like, Atletico are out. There's no chance of them beating Liverpool. Did. So I just want, I know, in my heart, I want us to just go out and dominate. We've got the fans behind us. We should clearly win this. I truly feel that. But I also have this tiny little pinprick that might just stab me every now and then during the game, and it'll be Atletico Madrid knocking on the door, trying to get the win, and it could happen. So I just want to have precautions. I want to see Ranić coming out and taking this game at home seriously, because we don't have a good home record, do we? We are much better away. Like you see here at the bottom, is a tough result going to Madrid and getting a 1-1. Now, sometimes when we're at home, we'll probably lose like 3-1 to Atletico Madrid if it was like a proper league game. So I just want us to take precaution and try and change that feeling of, this used to be a fortress, Old Trafford. You know what I mean, Maisie? And now Atletico Madrid probably do look at it and go, probably got a better chance at Old Trafford to get something here.
That's true. That's very true. But Ralph has only lost one game as a manager. Of course, if you want to be picky, say Middlesbrough, but technically it was a draw until it went to penalties. But I would still say it's a loss. I'm not going to
say that because Chelsea say that in the Champions League final in 2008. I don't like that. It was a draw. You didn't win the game. Yeah, we won the Champions League. We won it.
Yes, we won it with your famous slip.
That wasn't a holiday slip either. It was a grass slip.
Let's go with the final game of Champions League this week. Benfica 2, Ajax 2. You know what? This was actually a very, very tight game, and I was expecting Ajax to win. Ajax did score first, then Benfica equalised, then Ajax scored again, Benfica equalised. So it just felt like, in a way, Benfica was like, okay, you score past us, I'll score past you. But there was an own goal by Ajax as well, so that could have been a lot. They could have changed that as well. Ajax could have prevented it in some kind of way, but for me, it was a good game. What did you think?
Very tight, a good game, 2-2. It's not bad, and I think Benfica just pulled it back right at the very death, didn't they? I think it was Benfica that pulled it back. Yeah, I think it was. Please, Maisie, tell me.
It was Benfica who did pull it back.
Yes. So good for them. And of course, no away goals for Ajax. So it's not like you're on the advantage at all. It's go back and you've got to win. So it's even Stevens. And there he is in the comments as well, talking about him. But yeah, it's an even Steven game right now. Good luck to Benfica. And to be honest, I want Ajax to win. I think Ajax will get it back at the Johan Cruyff Arena. I think, like you say, though, the atmosphere at being at home, I think, can just be the advantage sometimes. And I can only applaud Ajax for using that as their 12th man. So I hope Ajax win. Sorry to Benfica, but I'm more Sporting Lisbon. Sorry.
Ajax as well do have a terrific ground, terrific fans. So them at home, it can be quite powerful.
Amazing stadium to be in. I've seen Suarez score there and Eriksen. Christian Eriksen was great. And De Jong. It can go on forever.
I bet it was amazing, wasn't it, to look at?
When they were young, yeah.
I wish I went when I went to Netherlands myself, but maybe again one day.
Yeah, we'll get you out to Amsterdam. We'll go do a bloody PSV, FC20. We'll go and see Feyenoord. We'll go see Ajax. It's a very small country. You can get trains all around. You can get match tickets for like 15 quid. You get a free scarf as well. Where's my... Oh, that's my athletic billboard. So yeah, that's that. I got that free, that scarf up there, Maisie. See, I got that free with the match ticket. I went to the inside of it. Here's your scarf. You'll never get that at a Premier League game, giving you a scarf for your ticket.
No, you just have unofficial ones outside the ground.
Yeah, it says
I'm paying a tenner.
Manchester United with a W. I don't know. It's you spelt it wrong. That's why you pay £1 for it, mate.
Coming into the next round, the second leg, which game are you most excited to watch?
Well, clearly Man United, right? But the Ajax,
a non-bias.
No, non-bias, of course. The Ajax and Benfica game, I think, will be good to see. I think that's
Ajax and Benfica for me, and of course Villarreal and Juventus for me as well. Is another one?
Yes, that'll be very good to see. Absolutely. I think them two games plus the Man United ones. Actually, I probably would watch. I'm definitely going to have the Ajax and Benfica game on because that's going to be very, very interesting.
It will indeed. And yes, I'm looking forward to a couple of weeks' time for another Champions League show.
Yeah,
I will discuss all the 8 fixtures all over again as well, all the round of 16
and then it
fixtures.
gets shorter and shorter and shorter, and then we get to really go in depth with the games because then we can actually watch every single game. Because of course we haven't watched every single game, have we? We can't. There's no time between what an hour ago and now that we could have watched every game tonight. There's no chance.
No, not a chance. But let's go through the last bit of the comments and then we will wrap it up. Hello there to Solo. Thank you for tuning in. Niall said, Man United will attack at Old Trafford and win. Yeah, and win at Old Trafford. Yep. Solo said, great draw, bad first half. Stephen said, hi guys, 2 of my favourite people on the channel. Thank you so much, plus many more in the chat. Niall, I had to go through. Yeah, I hope so. And Stephen said, for Man United, that's a good result to take at Old Trafford, especially after the way you started the game, which is absolutely correct.
Completely agree with you, Stephen.
Yes. So we'll wrap it up here. It's been a brilliant show, hasn't it, Matt?
I love it. You know what I mean? Like, we've done this for quite a while now. I'm enjoying it, and I can't wait to see how it goes nearer the final. You know, like where we get. Hopefully, Man United is still in it, Maisie. Let's be unbiased here, okay? Let's be biased.
I've got a plan for backstage, and I'll discuss it for you backstage if you'd like to do that.
Yes, brilliant.
Yes, so we'll wrap it up here. Thank you, everyone who's watched Football United TV. Hit that like button, and if you do, hit the subscribe button.
Hang on. You got to shout out your channel as well. One of the best channels there is. Come on.
My YouTube channel is Devils United, which is there. I do Manchester United content for both men and the women's football. So if you want to learn more about the women's football as well, hit that subscribe button to myself. I have passed 500 subscribers now. I'm on the road to 600. Been doing a couple of vlogs for going to the women's game. Recently travelled to Norwich. Let's just say Norwich. The rain was terrible, bouncing, soaked wet through by the end, and overall I travelled 8 hours there and back, and it turned out to be a 0-0.
What? Still enjoyable. You can't predict these things, can you, Maisie? Can you? Right?
No, and it was my first England women game as well. So, watching your country, that means a while as well, having to do that. But I'm going to watch England again for the Euros. I got the tickets for the Euro game.
Oh, right, sweet. So where's the first game? Just to finish off there, Maisie.
The best stadium in the UK.
That would be Old Trafford.
Yes.
Spurs fans will have a different opinion on that.
Of course, but Old Trafford kicking off the Euros, England versus Austria.
Whoa, I can't wait. I can't wait for the Euros in England this year. Everybody make sure you bloody support it. Check it out as well. Make sure that gets the biggest attendance and the biggest views this summer because literally it deserves it, doesn't it, Maisie? Finally.
Yeah, it does deserve it, and I'm actually going to 2 games, going to England versus Austria and Italy versus Iceland. I said Ireland, but yeah, Italy versus Iceland.
Oh, that'd be a cracker. What's the Italian team like? Just quickly on female side, Maisie.
It's pretty good. I think though the best team for me in the Euros for the women's has to be Spain. I actually met some of the Spain players, and I don't know if you do know a bit about Barcelona women in itself, but they're the best team in Europe by a long while. They've only lost 1 game in 3 seasons.
They say they play like the old Barcelona of the 2008 between 2008 and 2014. Like they literally are tiki-taka football. Like it's just Guardiola type football. They are literally gelled together. They literally play and make the game look so beautiful.
They have had 22. They have 22 games so far this season. How many goals do you think they scored?
I'd say about 200.
Realistically,
I thought that was going to be like something out of the norm. Okay, 100.
they have scored 125 goals and only conceded 6.
And the season's not over yet, though, is it?
No, the season's not over. So there is
200
roughly around
200.
16 teams. So if you obviously times that by the 2, they have like 32 games in a season, so they still got 10 to go.
We're always going to get a Herbert in here, aren't we?
But yeah, they've got the best player in the world. I met Ballon d'Or winner for the women's team for the women's side as well. I had a picture done with her.
What? You got to show me this in the background.
Yeah. But yeah, brilliant experience and good to meet brilliant players as well.
Yeah, no, you know what? I'd love to get involved and go and see a few games next season, definitely, or even maybe this season if I can, or even the Euros if I can, if there's still tickets available. Where do you get tickets?
The Euro website. The Euro website.
And they're all over England, aren't they? Of course,
You've all over England. They've got Wembley, Rotherham,
Stadium,
Old Trafford, Manchester City Academy Stadium, Brentford Community Stadium, Milton Keyes.
Is that really bad team? What they play at the Emirates? I can't remember the name of them now. They don't seem to play in any European cups. Oh, are they playing there? Are they playing at that stadium?
Don't think so.
Oh no, they wouldn't know. Yeah, of course not. It's not really not a big club, is it?
No, Milton Keyes is a bigger stadium, better stadium.
Says Dali Ali. Then we're off then.
Yes.
Thank you everybody for tuning in with me and Maisie. We'll see you again soon. Enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend. See you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.